has now been upgraded to a winter storm warning for many of us. I will have everything you need to know coming up. Karen?
All right, we'll be following that big story. And first at 4, legal about face from State Rep Jewel Jones, his day in court and what he now says about that infamous handcuff key. We'll also highlight a new COVID number that's reached its lowest point since the end of October. And the state health department shifts its guidance on face masks. We'll explain. Here's Paula.
A local bar is excitedly trying to find a favorite customer. They want to let him know that lottery ticket he purchased and stuck in his pocket without looking at it last Friday just made him a millionaire.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, it is warm and very windy right now, and we are under a Local 4 severe winter weather alert. Really a crazy mix of weather we're about to see. We've got more wind, rain, ice, and snow. It's all coming our way. Meteorologist Paul Gross standing by with the current conditions, also a peek ahead. Hey, Paul.
Yeah, hey, Karen, if you've been outside today, you know it's been windy, and even if you haven't been outside, you've heard the wind. So the wind advisory continues in effect until 8 p.m. We've had gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour. Those will continue into the early evening and then start to subside a bit overnight. Flood watch in effect from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thursday for what could be up to an inch of rain falling on top of the snow that's out there. That's a lot of water on frozen ground that can't soak it in. So that's going to run off somewhere. So flooding is a potential. And now we have a winter storm warning in effect for most of the area. Winter weather advisory farther to the north. And that goes into effect 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon until 3 a.m. Friday. And I'm going to break all of that down for you in a few minutes. But right now, let's just get you out the door. It is still very mild out there. Look at this. Temperatures even still near 50 degrees in Detroit. And we have winds that are blowing between 15 and 25 miles per hour with, again, those higher gusts. The temperatures are going to stay mild through the evening hours. Rain showers are going to increase, but we have a cold front approaching. So as that happens, this rain that we're going to have through daybreak tomorrow is going to transition to freezing rain and maybe some sleet. Spotty, but in spots, especially the northern part of the area. Then we're going to start stacking up the snow tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. And again, we're going to break down all of that with specific numbers for you and timing in just a few minutes, Karen.
Wow, what a mess. All right, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. State of Michigan has reached a turning point in the battle against the coronavirus as the state health department tweaks its face mask guidance. We're going to talk about that in a moment, but first, we did just receive the new COVID-19 numbers with more than 4,200 new cases in the last 2 days. Now, that is a daily average of more than 2,100, which is a slight increase over Monday's report. But that often happens after the weekend. Meantime, the 7-day positivity rate has really dipped. It is down to less than 12%. That is the lowest rate since the end of October. Numbers like that have the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services declaring the state is in a, quote, post-surge recovery phase. The department making mask wearing a more personal decision than a blanket recommendation with some very specific exceptions. Anyone in high-risk situations like long-term care facilities, jails, and homeless shelters should wear a mask regardless of vaccination status. The state says school districts should consider local conditions and work with their health departments to determine their next steps. And each family should also consider the risk level if any members are immune compromised or maybe have chronic illnesses. The state hopes we will all use vaccinations, testings, and you should always obviously wear your face mask when you are sick or quarantined because of an exposure. The easing of face mask guidance reflects a national trend starting tomorrow. Disney World and Disneyland will make face coverings optional for the fully vaccinated in outdoor and indoor locations. Unvaccinated people will still need to wear masks indoors. Check all the rules whenever you travel as conditions continue to change. Well, it was breaking news yesterday, and today it is a done deal. State Representative JEWELL Jones has pleaded guilty to several charges stemming from a DUI arrest in 2021. Now, the case was scheduled to go to trial next week, but Jones reached a plea deal. Kimberly Gill's been following this legal battle and joins us now with the big turnaround, Kim.
Yeah, Karen, that's right. Good afternoon to you. When I sat down with the state rep from Inkster a few weeks ago, he seemed ready to fight those charges. He told me he was hoping new facts in the case would come out. But I guess all that changed in a Livingston County courtroom this morning with several guilty pleas to charges that include felonies of resisting and obstructing police, plus reckless driving and attempted escape from law enforcement. That last charge, Jones pleaded guilty to sneaking a handcuff key into the jail for the purposes of escape and admitted he could have harmed someone. Under this plea, he will take part in a youth sentencing program. Upon the successful completion of probation, his 2 felony charges would appear as dismissals instead of convictions. Jones faces a maximum sentence of 2 years, but might not face any jail time depending on what the judge decides. We caught up with Jones outside court today. Listen.
And I'm glad we were able to have a win today. You know, I'm able to walking out the front of the building, like I said earlier, keep walking forward, keep moving forward, keep doing great things.
Jones will be sentenced in March. Right now, the state representative says he has no plans to give up his seat in the state legislature. Our Sean Lay was in court, and we'll have more from his interview with Jones on Local 4 News at 5. So, Karen, we'll see you then.
All right, we look forward to it. Thank you, Kim. Former Macomb County Prosecutor Eric Smith now faces nearly 2 years in prison. He was sentenced in federal court this afternoon. The former prosecutor pleaded guilty to a charge of obstruction of justice. Federal prosecutors say he organized a scheme to embezzle campaign funds for personal use. Now, as part of the scheme, Smith admitted that he tried to get 3 people to make false statements during a federal investigation. Smith will serve 21 months behind bars and pay nearly $70,000 in restitution. An Inkster man set to face charges in connection to a freeway shooting and police chase across 2 cities. New dashcam video shows the chase through Southfield and ending in Detroit. Police say it started when the driver shot at another car in the area of Schoolcraft and the Southfield Freeway. We're told 3 people were inside, including an 18-month-old boy. They were not hurt. Police used a pit maneuver to get the driver to stop, but he ended up crashing into a home on Detroit's west side. The 19-year-old man remains in custody.
18-month-old precious baby boy in that vehicle that this suspect fired upon. And so again, we're just so very thankful that this child was not injured. And so just a reminder, the Southfield Police Department, we take all crimes seriously, whether they occur in the city of Southfield or surrounding jurisdictions.
Police believe road rage was a factor in the shooting. President Joe Biden won't help former President Donald Trump keep visitor logs a secret. The current White House has rejected Trump's claims of executive privilege. The committee investigating the January 6th insurrection wants to see the logs, and Trump has been fighting to stop them. Now, President Biden has ordered the National Archives to hand over the documents within 15 days. The Biden administration shares its White House visitor logs each month. Western fears that Russia will invade Ukraine have eased, but they have not disappeared. This is video from a NATO meeting in Brussels. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was there to represent the U.S. NATO says it has not seen any proof that Russia is pulling back troops from the Ukrainian border in spite of those reports yesterday. Meantime, the U.S. and its European allies have welcomed Vladimir Putin's offer to keep discussing security concerns, but say Russia still has 150,000 troops surrounding Ukraine. So more U.S. troops are being deployed to Europe to protect NATO allies. Members of the 101st Airborne Division left Fort Campbell, Kentucky on Tuesday. They're part of the Army's Joint Task Force Dragon operation. Russia has said it doesn't want a war, but feels threatened by NATO forces moving closer to its borders and the possibility Ukraine might join NATO. Meantime, Ukrainians marked Unity Day in their capital with the unfolding of a huge national flag. The president decided to hold this celebration when there were predictions Russia might invade by today. That hasn't happened. Ukrainian leaders have accused the U.S. and its allies of causing panic when they keep saying an invasion is imminent. So the world waits and watches to see how this plays out. All right, let's get back to our really big story, and that is the full forecast. You definitely need to keep an eye on the weather over the next few days because we have, what, rain, ice, wind, snow, a little bit of everything, Paul.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last time, and I've worked here for 39 years. I'm trying to remember the last time we had 4 different types of advisories, watches, or warnings in effect all at the same time. So we'll keep track of that for you. But right now, if you're heading out, it's windy, but fortunately, the wind gusts right now have peeled back from any 40-mile-per-hour gusts. So we're generally gusting in most areas between 25 and 30 miles per hour. Some areas a little higher than that, some a little lower, and some areas don't have gusts at all right now. The other part of this forecast, which is really important, is temperature. Now you can see how balmy we are. 51 in the city of Detroit, 51 in Monroe, and even to the north here. Look at that, 48 over in Lapeer, 47 in Sandusky. But there's a cold front lurking back to the northwest. Look at this. Milwaukee is 53. It's 33 degrees colder in Duluth, Minnesota, where it's only 20 degrees. And that cold air is going to be oozing on in later tonight into the day tomorrow, and that's going to have an impact on the type of precipitation we get. Now, as far as precipitation right now, maybe a few little sprinkles or spotty little showers, a little bit better coverage there back to the northwest. All of this very, very light stuff. And even as we broaden out the view here, you're looking at this and you're probably saying, well, Paul, where's all this weather? Well, what's going to happen is tonight there's going to be a very rapid explosion of moisture to the south, and that stuff's all going to move in, as I'm going to show you here. So take a look. So here we are. Again, just a spotty sprinkle or shower right now. But as we move into the night, you can see that we're going to see that expansion of rain. It's going to really be coming down. Just the rain itself could just wake you up, the pounding rain on the windows tonight. And don't be surprised if a couple of us get a rumble of thunder overnight as well. All right, here comes that cold front. And so tomorrow morning, as the rain starts to peel out, maybe a little bit of sleet or freezing rain develops on the north edge. Not going to be heavy stuff. And a lot of models are suggesting we get a midday break, late morning, early afternoon, where either it ends completely for you, or maybe you just have some spotty patches of light freezing rain or light sleet. But then comes what I'll call part two of this storm, heavier snow developing by mid-afternoon, continuing into mid-evening, and then all of this stuff should be ending by about midnight, 1 a.m. on Friday. Rain amounts, anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rain on top of the snow with a frozen ground. There's going to be a lot of water running off, so flooding is a definite concern. That's why we have a flood watch. And look at the temperature forecast. So here we are, upper 40s to near 50. Even by 3 a.m., we're still there. But then notice how quickly, by 11 in the morning, we're well down in the 30s with below freezing temperatures already to the northwest. And then as we get into later in the day tomorrow, temperatures dropping into the 20s. A big change. Ice in the morning at 10 a.m. Not a whole lot, maybe a 100th of an inch. This is very thin, just a light glaze possible in some spots. The better chance is going to be the south and east tomorrow afternoon, with a chance that some of that snow could change over to freezing rain and then back over to snow in the southeast. That would cut back on your snow totals, but the central part of the area is looking at a solid 5 to 8 inches of snow tomorrow, less as you head north of M59 and north of I-69 here in northern St. Clair County. So on the snow meter, we're going to call this snow a frozen pizza and beer snow. This is going to be pretty inconvenient and very impactful snow tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night. So again, 43 will be dropping to by morning, but temperatures dropping through the day tomorrow. And then as you can see, the best chance for snow is mid-afternoon through mid-evening. It could be coming down at an inch an hour at times. And then we're cold, but typically cold. So for winter blast this evening, or this weekend, you can see that we have temperatures in the 20s on Saturday, 40s on Sunday, and then we stay, it looks like, above freezing well into next week with another storm we got to watch on Tuesday. Hey, if you have a smartphone with you, hold it up to the screen here. That QR code will take you right to the spot where you can download the free Local Forecasters app. You'll need that real-time radar tomorrow because it's color-coded like we show you on TV, Karen, so you can actually look at the radar on your phone and see where there's rain, where there's ice, and where there's snow.
You've got my interest. So you're thinking, do you think there could be a snow day?
You know, it's an interesting call.
Because you know that's
Karen,
what this mom's wondering.
I don't know. Some schools may do early dismissal, but I think a lot of schools are not going to call school tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, but maybe Friday.
Oh, Friday's going to be interesting, yeah.
Oh, we'll see.
Neighborhood streets are important.
Neighborhood streets. All right. Thank you, Paul. All right. Many of us dream of winning the lottery. Did you ever worry, though, you might win a jackpot but then somehow lose the winning ticket? The folks at a local bar are trying to make sure that doesn't happen for one of their customers. Paula Tutman joins us with this very interesting story from Lake Orion. Hey, Paula.
Hey there. Hi, everybody. You know what? This is really a fun story. I'm actually driven by the old Detroit Burger Bar, and it's off of Baldwin. You know what? When the Pistons used to play at the Palace and you're getting ready to get on the pier, and I thought, well, that would be a really cool place to stop in and get a burger. And you know what? I'm just really sorry. I didn't do it last Friday. He's the guy sitting at a bar where everybody knows his first name only. We're obscuring his face because, you know what, a guy just ought to be able to win $1.7 million in the privacy of one of his favorite watering holes. All we can say is, Joe, check that ticket you got last Friday. You're a winner.
On Friday night, I was bartending, and one of our regulars that comes in like twice a month came in, and he was about to leave, and he wanted a fast cash ticket. And I was like, well, I'm feeling really lucky today. Can I pick it out? He was like, yeah, I guess. Have fun, whichever one you think.
Jessie runs the Detroit Burger Bar in Lake Orion for her dad. They're known for their good food, great company, and apparently now, great luck.
I picked it out and like kissed it, you know, for good luck. And he left, and he just took it with his receipt and didn't check it. He just left. Then like 5-10 minutes later, the machine started going crazy, and it was like, attention, like someone won $1.7 million.
So this guy, he's a semi-regular.
I was like, I have to find him after that because he's such a sweet guy. He's super like calm and nice. I'm like, he has to know. I'm sure he'd freak out.
And the folks here know his name and that he's a great guy, and they're not trying to out him. They just want him to know that, please don't launder that shirt or toss away that receipt with that lottery ticket stuck to it.
So I know for sure he won it, and then I haven't been notified that he cashed it by the lottery yet. So I hope that he didn't lose it or something like that. But it turns out I was feeling lucky, so it actually worked.
Turns out he's the one who got the big tip.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? That is such an incredible story. Okay, so they know that he hasn't cashed the ticket. They know that he's a great guy who probably doesn't even realize that he's a millionaire right now. Favorite part of the story? I kissed the ticket. And he walked out, stuck it in his pocket, and didn't bother looking at it.
Wow. These are always such fun.
No, it wasn't you. It was me sitting there. It wasn't you. It was me.
Oh, man. These are fun stories.
I promise it was me.
Wow. Paula, we appreciate it. What a great story. Obviously, we're following up on it as well. All right, NBC covering the Olympics over on Local 4, but we've got plenty of news through the afternoon and the evening for you. Tonight at 5 and 6, you can join Local 4 News for weather updates, that big storm that is headed our way, news and sports. We also have a special news update at 10 o'clock with Devin and Kim at clickondetroit.com and Local 4 Plus. Tonight, Local 4 News at 11 is actually on 30 minutes earlier at 10:30. That's due to Olympic scheduling. The games continue tonight at 11 with women's ice hockey, the U.S. versus Canada for the gold medal. Thanks for finding us here first at 4 this afternoon. We sure hope you have a great evening. Stay tuned for weather updates, and we leave you with a look at an emotional story you can see only on Local 4 News at 5, which starts at the top of the hour.
Tate was always focused on others. He was just a super awesome teammate. Super awesome friend, great brother. All I remember was my wife saying, "He was my baby."
Who do you hold responsible?
I'm angry at that day, and I'm angry at the school because Tate's never coming home. Never.